Novillennial, going to be testing your map here, Call Me Wild. I haven't played any of the difficulties, so yeah, we're going to do them all today. I probably have to look at it in editor and stuff, but some of the note jump speeds, jump distances look a little odd to me. Like, nothing unplayable, but for example, like you go from having a jump distance of 20 to going down to 19, and that goes back up to 21, which feels kind of low for easy, and things like the note jump speed being 10 for both normal and easy seems a little off to me. But I'll look at it in editor so I can actually check and see what the numbers are. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start this. I kind of messed up, and I actually already played it, but for long story short, I had it on closer offset the first time, and it felt really fast, and I was like making comments on why does this feel so fast, and it was just kind of stupid, so I'm just doing it again. Yeah, this feels much better than
Baby, can you hear me? I said you look great tonight. All good, have a good one. Just gonna step outside. So I called my mom and then I called my dad, and then I found the boys who were smoking out back, and I told them, guys, it's not the vibe. That's
whoops.
right.
That window didn't really feel the best. I like that part, how it goes up. Oh, except why didn't it do it there? Ooh, I kind of didn't really love that blue note on the far left lane there.
What you thinking? What you drinking? Baby, can you hear me? She said you look great tonight. Let's go back to my place. Just gonna step outside. So we'll call my mom and then I call my dad, and then I found the boys who was smoking on back, and I told them, guys, I found the vibe. That's right. And all of a sudden I feel weird. If I wanted to go home.
In general, this has really good flow. I feel like I'm moving back and forth a lot. That's, I mean, that was okay, but, ooh, and then that window again. Yeah, sorry, that part with the, kind of jump doubles, like, it was fine, but just, it felt kind of a little intense. I love this part, though. Yeah, except I think there was one where you didn't have the, have that happen. Yeah, that was nice. Okay. All right, we'll go on. But yeah, that felt good. That felt very dancey. You had good movement throughout the majority of it. First impressions for expert, this seems very bottom row heavy, which that feels weird for expert.
3 suits around me, us wanna hit the town tonight. Let's go to Andy's. No, the Roxy. Happy hour. Before I know it, there's a taxi, and I'm selling something south.
Yeah, again, so like note density fine, but why were those all bottom row notes? I don't know.
Have a good one. Just gonna step outside. So I call my mom and then I call my
Especially because it's such a dancey song.
back, and I told them, guys, it's not the vibe. That's right.
Except again, why all bottom row? But like, I like that you are getting some of that up row stuff here, but I still feel like I want more. Yeah, and again, why was that one lower? Yeah, like that last one felt better because there was a lot more of the top row.
There's a girl in the corner, darling Laura, my last boyfriend was a local. I'm from Metro, you're from York, but you never kissed an alien before. What you thinking? What you drinking, darling? You wanna know? Baby, can you hear me? She said you look great tonight. Let's go back to my place. Just gonna step outside. So we'll call me mom and then we'll call me dad and then I found the boys. So we're moving on back to the load. Them guys, I found the vibe. That's right. And all of a sudden, I feel you would take a trip if I wanted to go home. So I asked for the check, don't mean to be so direct. She said the night is done. Do you want comfort or fun? See you, I was feeling unsure, but now I'm begging for more. How did you do? Call me wild and all
Oh yeah, I still don't really love that jump. Yeah, so then the first one in this chain was like all lowers, and then like yeah, I kind of okay. So in general, like it feels good in the sense of a down map. Like it felt like it was good difficulty, but I felt like it was very bottom row heavy, which was quite surprising for an expert level song, especially one that's kind of got this dancey sort of feel to it. And then those streams where it goes up in the volume and then, or sorry, not up in volume, up in pitch and then down in pitch, feel kind of inconsistent. Like Expert Plus felt good consistent wise, except I think there was one where for some reason in the middle is for some reason didn't do that, but the expert one felt a little bit more inconsistent with that. Like that last one there, I think it started high and then it ended up being low, and then sometimes you would have them as top row notes and sometimes you would have them as middle row notes. Again, maybe there's just something going on there that I'm not hearing, but it feels really inconsistent on which ones you're doing. I don't know. Oops. I guess I could have just, sorry, I could have. So again, like it's a good down map, but I just feel like I wanted a little bit more out of it in terms of top row or middle row representation and consistency in those long streams.
Last Friday I clocked out at around about 9:30. 3 suits around me, us wanna hit the town tonight. Sure, let's go to Angie's. Oh, the Roxy, happy hour. Before I know it, there's a taxi.
I think that's fine.
Baby,
There was like a second where that blue being on the left-hand side of the map made me hesitate for a second.
so I called my mom and then I called my dad and then I found the boys.
Like I could see that confusing someone. Otherwise, I'm really liking this so far. Yeah, so hard feels more appropriate having these bottom row notes. And I'm probably wrong, but I feel like there's more... Oh, that might be a vision block there on the yellow. But I feel like there's more representation of the top and middle row on this than on the expert. But I very much could see being wrong about that, so, you know, I'm not looking at it in editor.
Let's go back to my So we'll call my mom and then call my dad and then found the boys.
Ooh. For some reason, that felt like something. Let me go back. Something felt weird there on the left hand, I think.
Let's go back to my place. Just gonna step outside. So we'll call my mom and then call my dad and then found the boys.
Yeah, so that there felt a little bit flicky, having to go up to the yellow note there and then get back to the yellow note down there, just felt a little bit uncomfortable.
Back to the cold, them guys, I found the vibe. Let's ride. All of a sudden, I feel weird with every touch before I wanted to go home. So I asked for a check, don't need to listen direct. She said the night is done, do you want comfort? Say I was feeling unsure, but now I'm begging for more. How could you call me wild and listen?
Yeah, that again, that jump on the single hand felt a little challenging. Yeah, so again, this feels off in terms of the representation, because like I don't know if it's just because of the parody or something, but I feel like I'm not moving up with, and I think it's this one that was bugging me on the expert too. Like it just where it feels like you've lost the going up with the pitch of the music here. Like it feels very different. Maybe it's the parody of your notes got turned around or something, but it's very playable, right? Like that just feels a little off to me. Okay, let's keep going. Ooh, that was weird having that be in a top row down note for normal. I feel like that invert's going to be a little mean for normal.
Three suits around me, us wanna hit the town tonight. Sure. Let's do the Angie.
No, the Roxy. Happy hour.
Before I know it.
Oh my God, sorry, that was me. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Baby,
Ooh.
can you hear me?
These, I don't really want to call them inlines, but for lack of a better word, feel like they might be confusing for normal difficulty, in my opinion.
I said you look great tonight. All good, have a good one. Just gonna step outside. So I called my mom and then I called my dad and then I found the boys all smoking around back and I told them, guys, it's not the vibe. Let's ride. And all of a sudden I feel weird.
That yellow was not vision blocked, but a little hard to read there.
I wanted to go home. So I asked for a check, get a clap on the back, Jack. The night is young, do you want comfort? Fine. Say I was feeling unsure, but now I'm begging for more. How did you do? How did you do? Call me wild and won't listen me tight. I'm a big fan of life, it's fine.
I feel like the map is very vertical. I'd kind of like to see a little bit more diagonals, like in the middle row, for example, right? In general, I find that diagonals play better than horizontals. So unless like you're coming from a diagonal into a horizontal, but I feel like you could get a little bit more variety to the map by adding like just a couple more diagonals on the outside lanes. That would even set you up for some diagonals on the inside, like some down diagonals too. That's probably a little vision blocky on the blue.
This taking shots. There's a girl in the corner, hot dog, more on my last post.
I think your dodge walls are fine.
From York, but you never kissed a lady. What you thinking? What you drinking, darling? You wanna know?
Because like dodge walls can be a little scary for normal difficulty players, but they're pretty spaced out.
Go back to my place. Just gonna step outside. So we'll call my mom and then I call my dad.
Note density feels good.
So we'll run back and I told them, guys, I found the vibe. Let's ride. And all of a sudden,
I would say you don't have to put top rows as dots. Like, I don't know if that's why you're doing it is being in the normal difficulty. I think they can still be arrows at normal. It's more easy that I like making top row dot notes. For the players who are going to hit them down no matter what you do. So I would say, like, unless you're doing it for representation in the music, you can probably make them arrows.
So I asked for the check, don't mean to be so direct. She said the night is done, do you want comfort or fun? Say no more, I was feeling unsure, but now I'm begging for more. How did you do? Call me wild and overshared.
Yeah, that might be a little bit fast there for normal difficulty to have those two dodge walls back to back. And plus, like, then they got to focus on following the arcs there too, which again, I think will help because it'll indicate they got to move over. But that can be a lot to process. And I think that might be a little fast for those to be dodge walls in that section. Yeah, like this part. I think you could do some of that representation of the music going up. That was vision block there. But you can do some representation with the notes going up there. Like, even if you want to stick with the up-down notes, just like putting an up note in the outside lane, I think would be better representation with the music. So in general, I like the note density. I think the map probably needs like maybe just a little bit more variety by adding some diagonal notes in the mix. Maybe making the top row notes not dots, unless it makes sense with the music and stuff. And maybe just watching the dodge walls. I think most of them are fine, but just if they're really fast, if they're really close together, just be mindful of that. So this might be an unpopular opinion, but when I map easy difficulty, I map it for my son who plays this level. Lots of people will do this, so take this with a grain of salt, but my son really hates up notes that are in the down row because he finds he has to keep his arms so low to be able to swing up and hit them, which if you think about it kind of makes sense because they're technically inverts, right? But again, I mention that to people, but it's absolutely not wrong to have them. Oh, I'm just going to restart. So that's just something like I personally don't map with, but I mean, like, for example, that easily could have been an up, like in the middle row. And I would also suggest watching out for notes that are on. So basically for easy, you want your left-hand notes to be on the left half of the track and your right-hand notes to be on the right half of the track, like the vast majority of the time, unless it really makes sense that they shouldn't be, like you're moving around walls and stuff. Because it just, like a note like that, pretty high chance that an easy level player will mess that up. This might be fast for easy.
Last Friday I clocked out at around
It's like that's a part where it would be fine to do up down notes because at least that's pretty simple. I think those dodge walls are fine, but especially combined with the top row notes, that might be a little bit much for easy. Because top row notes can be pretty physically demanding for easy players, especially like kids or people with physical limitations. So having to combine hitting the top row notes with the dodge walls, those two things together just might be tough. I mean, the dodge walls could also just be a little bit fast for easy.
Before I know it, there's a taxi and I'm sipping something sour. Baby, can you hear me?
Again, that might be fast for a dodge wall. Oh, this, see, this is a situation because you got the blue having to come up here and then the yellow having to come down here. I think this is really going to confuse easy level players personally.
Have a good one. It's gonna step outside.
Yeah, but that one, for example, is fine, both because the arc is leading you over there, and so that note being on that side makes sense with the dodge walls. It does feel like there's a lot of dodge walls in this easy difficulty so far, in my opinion. That was a pretty long section with no break. Like, in general, I like my normal maps to probably have no more than about 5 or 6 notes without a break for the player to collect themselves. And in easy difficulty to probably have no more than 3 notes without a little break there. Because the easy level players will tire out faster and can just get overwhelmed if you have too many notes in a row. So again, you're keeping the pattern simple, so this might be fine, but just something to be mindful of.
if I wanted to go home. So I ask, would you get a clap on the back, Jack? The night is
I like that, but I would probably start the first note of the chain out to on the outside lane, and then probably move the second note so it's again staying on the left-hand side there, just to make it a little bit more friendly so that the player doesn't have to really lean over so far, because I think that's a little intense for easy.
I was feeling unsure, but now I'm begging for more. How did you do? How did you do?
Yeah, I feel like that part's probably a little bit too hard for easy. So combination of, again, the dodge walls, having to follow the arcs, things being on the opposite side. You had like a little bit of a pseudo inline thing going on here, and just lots of notes that were kind of in a row without much of a pause there.
Call me wild and listen tight. I'm a big fan of life. Let's find the other side.
Like, so this part might be fast too, but I suspect it's probably okay for two reasons. Because one, again, the patterns are quite simple. And two, like, again, this is kind of an iconic part of your song. So if there was going to be a difficulty spike, I feel like it's appropriate here. But that might be a little bit intense for easy. Vision block there.
The boys walking on shoulders, taking shots. There's a girl in the corner, hot dog and Laura. My last boyfriend was a robot. I'm from Neptune.
Yeah, so even that one there, it was, again, not inliney, but having the yellow be on the right side of the map, I think is probably going to throw people off. Ooh, this I don't like for easy difficulty, because what you're doing is having this note be over here on the far right-hand side is going to encourage the player to go to the right, but then you got this dodge wall that's now very fast and they have to immediately get over to the left. So I think what's going to happen with an easy level player is they're going to hit that and literally jump off to the side, which is, I think, what you don't want there. So I would change this by either getting rid of the dodge wall or moving the note over, because like you're not gonna have a vision block issue, right? Because you have the wall.
What you drinking, darling? You wanna move?
Sorry, I missed.
Baby, can you hear me? She said you look great tonight. Let's go back to my place.
Yeah, there's that kind of pseudo crossover thing again. I think that's going to be really confusing. You're probably okay with the second row down notes there, but that felt maybe a little difficult. That could be confusing. I would also get, again, a couple of diagonal notes in here. My son loves playing diagonal notes. Yeah. Ooh, okay, so again, kind of, I might have already said this because I think we're mirroring and stuff, but kind of, again, long thing with no breaks. This one here, again, feels like the same problem you had before, because you're having me play the note right before the dodge wall, and now I have to immediately jump over, and I think that's just going to be a little scary for yeah, and same there. For some reason, yeah, those I feel are way too fast. And it's the same problem. I think you had the yellow note off to this side and then right before the dodge wall. So yeah, I think the dodge walls in general, I think there's too many and they're a touch too intense. That ending, that stack might be a little bit weird. And it doesn't feel like that dramatic of a note that it should have like that kind of a impact, I think. But in general, so things I like is, yeah, very good note density for the most part. I think there's too many dodge walls. I would probably do either no dodge walls for easy or only do them if it's like really spaced out and keep the pattern super simple as you're going through them. You don't want to get cute with crossovers or like making a person do a reach right before they have to go around the dodge wall. I would personally get a few more like mid-row diagonal notes in there. You don't have to go overboard with it, but just add a little variety. And in general, I find those are really easy for easy level players to play. Like it's very intuitive. I personally probably would get some of the notes off the bottom floor, but it didn't. Honestly, it felt pretty good, so I'm only kind of saying that because of what my son has told me about Easy before, so you can take that with a grain of salt. So yeah, I would definitely nerf this a bit, but otherwise, concepts are good. Representation for the music feels really good. Yeah, okay, I think that's all I have to say, and this video's probably gone on for about like 20 minutes or so. So let me know if you have any questions, and I hope that helps.